ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ so Guru Piri Saat Sangat Ji, while we wait for everyone uh, to come on to the page, we're just gonna like always start off with Mool Matar and Gur Matar, and then Guru Sahib Ji di Kirpana will look into today's Sakhi. So everyone close your eyes and just try to focus on Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj and everything they've done for us as we do some Mool Matar, you guys. ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤਿ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪੁ ਆਦਿ ਸਚੁ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚੁ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤਿ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪੁ ਆਦਿ ਸਾਚੋ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਾਚੋ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤਿ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪੁ ਆਦਿ ਸਾਚੋ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਾਚੋ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤਿ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪੁ ਆਦਿ ਸਾਚੋ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਾਚੋ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤਿ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪੁ ਆਦਿ ਸਾਚੋ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਾਚੋ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤਿ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪੁ ਆਦਿ ਸਾਚੋ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਾਚੋ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤਿ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪੁ ਆਦਿ ਸਾਚੋ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਾਚੋ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਾਚੋ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 वाहिगुरु एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरखो निरभउ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जापो आदि साचो जुगादि साचो है भी साचो नानक होसी भी साचो वाहिगुरु 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 जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. So Guru Peri Sat Sangat Ji, before I begin today's Sakhi, I'd like to ask for Maafi. I'd like to ask for forgiveness. I know last week we said we were going to be continuing the Sakhi of Dhan Dhan Bhai Rai Bular Ji and Dhan Dhan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, but Dasan Dasi made a huge mistake. I didn't plan on not finishing the Sakhi last week, and I didn't look at the calendar, and I totally missed that. Dhan Dhan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Shaheed Dhan De Sartaj. Dhan Dhan Sahib Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji are our fifth Guru. Their Shaheedi just came, and I think it's really important that we go over the Shaheedi so that we can see exactly why did they have to give their Shaheedi, and how did they give their Shaheedi, and how we benefited from their Shahidi more than anything else. So Guru Peri Sat Sangat Ji, a lot of us only know Guru Sahib Ji Shahidi because of the shabils that we do, because of the cold drinks that we give to everybody during the time of Guru Sahib Ji Shahidi. A lot of us probably, that might be all that we know about Guru Sahib Ji Shahidi. We might not know the reasoning behind it or anything like that. So hopefully today we can learn a little bit about why Guru Sahib Ji gave their Shahidi and why we benefited from the Shahidi. Sikhs today benefit from the Shahidi, and how were they tortured. Very Sat Sangat Ji, a lot of us don't know that the reason behind uh, the reason behind giving these cold drinks to the thirsty people is because Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji stayed thirsty for 5 days and stayed hungry for 5 days. That's why we give water and milk and these sweet drinks to other people so that they don't have to remain thirsty. The reason we give these cold drinks is because Guru Sahib Ji had to sit in boiling hot water. So to take other people's burning away, to take other people's heat away during these summer days, we give these cold drinks. They don't know that behind these cold drinks is burning hot water, red hot sand, and a red hot stove. But Petty Sangat Ji, hopefully Guru Sahib Ji keeps doing kirpa and we can go over some of the stuff that led to Guru Sahib Ji Shahidi and how exactly Guru Sahib Ji gave their Shahidi. So Petty Sangat Ji, Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji did so much stuff during the time of their Guruship. While they were Guru, they did so much for everybody. I apologize in advance. This is only supposed to be a 30-minute video, so I can't possibly talk about everything that Guru Sahib Ji did. So we're just going to look at the main reason that Guru Sahib Ji had to give their Shahidi. And Peri Sat Sangat Ji, the biggest thing that Guru Sahib Ji blessed us with, Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji blessed us with, was Dhan Dhan Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. As you can see in the picture, Dhan Dhan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji sat with Baba Gurdas Sahib Ji, Bhai Gurdas Sahib Ji, and they wrote Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And why was this so important? Why was this such a big thing? Because Peri Satsangat Ji, before this, there was only one Guru. There was only one Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, right? So if any Sikh or anyone wanted to learn about Sikhi and they wanted to meet the Guru and they wanted to hear the Guru's Bani, they would have to go to wherever Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji was, right? That means, so let's say Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji is in Brampton. That means that means Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji isn't in India. So anyone in India that wanted to meet Guru Sahib Ji or anyone in I don't know, Malton or Kitchener or anywhere else that wanted to see Guru Sahib Ji, or anyone in Vancouver that wants to see Guru Sahib Ji, they have to travel, and it's going to take them days and days to come and see Guru Sahib Ji, right? It's not like today where we can just go across the street to a Gurdwara, and every Gurdwara has Guru Granth Sahib Ji the Swaroop. No matter which Gurdwara we go to, we can see Guru Sahib Ji, and we only have to cross the street. Back then, there was only one Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji. So if you wanted to see the Guru and you lived far away from them, that means you had to travel for days and months. And they didn't have cars, they had to walk. And it took them so long to go and see Guru Sahib Ji. And then they would finally go there and they would try to memorize some Gurbani, and then they would walk back home. And they would have to stay there for, it wasn't just like today where you stay at the Gurdwara for a couple of minutes. They would stay there for weeks and weeks because they know that they might not get this chance again. But why was Guru Granth Sahib Ji so important now? Now that Guru Granth Sahib Ji was created, it did a lot of things. So first of all, there were some very tricky people, there were some clever people. And you know what these sneaky people started to do? They started to make their own Gurbani. They started to write their own stuff, and at the end of the stuff, they used to just say Guru Nanak's name, and they used to pretend like this is Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Bani, and all the Sikhs started getting confused. They didn't know if it was actually Guru Sahib Ji's Bani or if it was just a tricky person that was just writing their own stuff, their own whatever they wanted to write, and they were just writing their own poems and writing Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji's name at the end. They didn't know if that was the case, right? So Guru Sahib Ji made Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and they said, this is the Guru's Bani. Everything that you read in here is the Guru's Bani, is actually the Guru's Bani. And the other reason it was so important is because now people could write Guru Granth Sahib Ji and take it back with them. They could take it to their own cities, and in their own cities they could do darshan of Guru Sahib Ji, because Guru Sahib Ji says, Guru Granth Rida Gur ko eho janaho. That that what does that mean? That means that Guru Granth Sahib Ji, don't just think of it as letters on a piece of paper. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sahib said, after they made Guru Granth Sahib Ji, they said, this is my Rida, this is my heart. It's not just it's not just writing on a piece of paper, it's my heart on a piece of paper. And whoever does darshan of this, of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, whoever sees Guru Granth Sahib Ji, is the same as seeing me, as seeing Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, right? So now people didn't have to travel for months and months. If they got, if they wrote down Guru Sahib Ji's Bani, if they wrote down Guru Granth Sahib Ji, they could learn everything that Guru Sahib Ji was trying to teach them at their own houses, right? You can read Gurbani just like today. We probably have Gotke Sahib at our house, and we can just go to a special room that we have set up, and we can read what Guru Sahib Ji wrote for us. Just like that, now people didn't have to get confused. They didn't think that it was a tricky person who was just a sneaky person that was trying to write their own stuff, right? That was writing stuff that might not be Gurbani, and they didn't have to travel for months and months. Now they can just go upstairs in their own room and read Gurbani and try to memorize Gurbani and try to learn from Gurbani, right? So what happened? So many people started becoming Sikhs now. All the Hindus and Muslims and people that didn't even believe in Gurbani, they started hearing Guru's Bani, and they started doing job of Guru's Bani. They started reading Guru's Bani, and what happened? Inside they started feeling so much happiness. They started getting so much joy, and they started getting so much peace, and they got so happy that so many people started becoming Sikhs, and everyone was so happy. But you want to know what? There was one person, there was a couple of people actually that were that were evil, that didn't want to see Guru Sahib Ji Sikhi spread anywhere. And you know who the main person was? It was the king at the time. And this wasn't just a normal king, this was an evil, evil king. This guy's name was Jahangir, King Jahangir. He started finding out that people are becoming Sikhs, and he started getting angrier and angrier and angrier. You know what? He wrote his own journal. He wrote a diary. Jahangir, he wrote a diary and he was like, it's my goal that I want to end this Sikhs. I want to end these Sikhs once and for all. I want to kill Guru Sahib Ji and I want to get rid of this Guru Granth Sahib Ji because everyone is reading it and everyone is learning from it and everyone is becoming Sikh. But I'm going to make everyone into a Muslim. He was really, really evil. He was a really, really bad person. So what did he do? He started looking for an excuse, any excuse that he could find, so that he could find a way to kill Guru Sahib Ji. He started looking for excuses and excuses. So what happened? He got he started he just got people to say that inside Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Guru Sahib Ji wrote bad stuff about Musliman. He wrote that Muslimans are bad people. And is that written in Guru Granth Sahib Ji? No. What does Guru Granth Sahib Ji tells us? Guru Granth Sahib Ji tells us it doesn't matter if you call yourself a Musliman. It doesn't matter if you call yourself a Hindu or a Sikh. It doesn't matter if you refer to God as Allah or Ram or Vaheguru. The only thing that matters is the stuff that we do in life. If I go around saying that I'm a Muslim but I kill everybody, does that make me a good person? No. If I go around saying I'm a Sikh and I kill everybody, does that make me a good person? No. But if I go around and I say Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru all the time, I'm trying to remember God, does that make me a good person? That could make us into a good person, right? Depending on the other stuff we do, that could make us a good person. That's what Guru Granth Sahib Ji tells us. It tells us that we could call God Vaheguru, we could call God Allah, we could call God Khuda, Ram, anything, as long as we actually remember God and as long as we have love for God from inside. That's what will determine if we're a good person, and that's the only thing that goes with us. When we die, God's not going to care if I called myself a Muslim or I called myself a Hindu. He's only going to care about how much love did I have for Him, how much love did I have for God, and how much time did I spend doing Simran and doing Path, right? So he started making up lies. He started saying Guru Granth Sahib Ji says that all Muslims are bad people and that Muslims are going to hell. And he started making up wrong stuff and he just wanted an excuse. So he just started making up lies and he said, Arjan Sahib Ji, I'm arresting you. Come to Lahore. So Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, he sent an army to get Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, but Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji themselves went to Lahore. But before they went to Lahore, they gave the Gurta Gaddi to their son, Dhan Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. And at that time, they were only about 10, 11 years old. They were really young. And just imagine, they knew that the king at the time is evil and he wants to kill all the Sikhs. But even then, Guru Sahib Ji, to save us, so that we could have Guru Granth Sahib Ji today, Guru Granth Sahib Ji today, they decided that I'm going to leave my son. They knew, Guru Sahib Ji knew that once they went to Lahore, they would have to give their life, that they wouldn't be able to come back, and that the same king that wanted to kill me is going to want to kill my 10-year-old son next. But to save us, to save Sakhi, Guru Sahib Ji made that sacrifice. They they made Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji the next Guru and they went to Lahore. And what happened in Lahore? Lahore is the place where Jahangir used to stay. That's where his castle was. That's where Guru Sahib Ji was called. What happened in Lahore? In Lahore, Jahangir started making more and more lies. And he said, Guru Sahib Ji, I'll let you go for free. I won't do anything for you. All you have to do is become a Muslim. If you become Muslim, I'll let you go free. I'll forget everything that happened. And then Guru Sahib Ji, you know what they said? They said, no, I'm not going to convert my religion. I'm happy being a Sikh. I'm happy spreading the message of Sikhi. And whatever Sikhi teaches me, what I learned from my Guru and what I'm teaching my Sikhs, that's what I believe to be true. So Jahangir, I'm not going to become Muslim. And then you know what Jahangir said? Then Jahangir said, then in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, I want you to write that all the Sikhs should become Musliman. And again, Guru Sahib Ji said, no, this is not my Bani, this is Turki Gurbani. We probably heard a lot of times, Turki Bani Ai Tin Sagli Chint Matai. What does that mean? What does Turki Bani mean? Guru Sahib Ji says that it means that this came straight from God. This isn't my words. This isn't the words of any ordinary person on the street. This is words that came straight from God. And because of that, not even one single letter can be changed. And Jahangir said, write that you should become Musliman, write that Muslimans are the best, write that Muhammad was such a great person. Muhammad, you know how we have Guru Nanak Sahib Ji? The Muslimans have someone named the Prophet Muhammad. And he was like, I want you to write Muhammad is great. And he's like, I also want you to write that I'm great. I want you to write that Jahangir was the king at the time that I wrote Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and he is such a great king. He's such a good person. I want you to write that as well. I want your Sikhs to read that. But again, Guru Sahib Ji said, no, Jahangir, you know what? This is straight from God. This is straight, this is only the message that God has sent for this world. Because of that, not even one single letter can be changed. Not even one single letter will be changed of this. Only the stuff in Guru Granth Sahib Ji is God's words. It's not my words, it's not anyone else's words, and not even a single letter can be changed. And you know what Jahangir said? Jahangir said, then I want you to pay me $200,000. I want you to give me money. I want you to pay a fine. And Guru Sahib Ji, again, they said, no, this isn't my money. This is the money that the Sangat gave. The Sangat worked so hard to make this money, and they gave it to me. And I'm not going to use it for my own purposes. I'm not going to use it to save my own life. I'm on the Sangat's money. I'm only going to use it for the Sangat's benefit and for the benefit of the poor people. And so Guru Sahib Ji said no to this as well. And then Jahangir got angrier and angrier and angrier. And you know what? Jahangir, he knew that Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji was really famous. So he didn't want to kill Guru Sahib Ji. So he wanted someone else to do his dirty work for him. So you know what happened? He got someone. He got someone named Chandu. And Chandu didn't like Guru Sahib Ji. Why didn't Chandu like Guru Sahib Ji? It's a long story, but basically what happened, Chandu had a daughter and he had to get his daughter married. But it's not like today where people just go around dating and doing whatever they want to find a husband or a wife. At that time, they used to go to one person and they said that I'm trying to find a husband or a wife for my son or my daughter. Can you help me find someone? And whoever they chose, they would have to get married to them, right? So these persons, this person went looking all over India for a person to marry Chandu's daughter. And Chandu, he was like a king himself. He was a really high person, right? So they couldn't just get him married. A king doesn't just marry anybody off the street, right? They marry someone else that's a king. So this guy had to look around for another person that was kind of like a king to find to marry Chandu's daughter, right? And he couldn't find anyone. He was searching and searching and searching, and finally they found Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji. And Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji was supposed to become the next Guru, right? So he was kind of like a king, and Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji was so beautiful, and the Guru's house had a lot of money. So he's like, this is the perfect person. I found the perfect person to marry Chandu's daughter. So he goes back and he says, Chandu, 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 I found the perfect person for your daughter to marry. It's Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji. And Chandu heard this, and was Chandu thought that no one is as great as me, right? Yeah, Chandu thought that I'm the best person in the whole world. And when he found out that they thought that he should marry Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, he said, "How dare you say I'm equal to Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji?" He was like, "I'm so great, and the Guru's house is like It's like dirt. He was like, I'm like an ornament. I'm like a beautiful piece of jewelry that you put on top of the house. And the guru's house is like a little brick that you put in the basement, like a brick that everyone steps on. He was like, I'm great, and the guru's house is nothing. And you know what happened? The Sikhs heard this. The Sikhs heard that he was saying bad stuff about Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, and bad stuff about Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, and bad stuff about Sikhi. So you know what the Sikhs did? The Sikhs wrote a letter to Guru Sahib Ji. They said, Guru Sahib Ji, this guy is saying such bad things about Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji that we don't want you to marry his daughter. So again, because this person had chosen that Chandu's daughter should marry Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, that's what had to happen. According to the time, that was the rule that whoever these people chose, that's who they would have to get married to. So he had to send his daughter. So ends up sending. He was like, okay, whatever. They won't know that like they won't know, and we'll just get our daughter married to him, to Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, and we'll see what happens. But Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji found out that the Sangat doesn't want this marriage to go through. So Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji says no. They said we're not going to marry our daughter. We're not going to marry Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji to Chandu's daughter. So Chandu heard this and he started getting really angry. And he was looking for any way possible to get revenge on Guru Sahib Ji. So when Jahangir said, Chandu, I want you to take Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji and I want you to make sure that they become Musliman. Either they become Musliman or they change Guru Granth Sahib Ji or they give me money. Otherwise, I want you to kill them. Chandu heard this and he got really happy. He was actually trying to get this to happen for a really long time. And I apologize, I can't go through all the details, but Chandu was looking for a way to get his hands on the Guru for a long time. He was saying a lot of lies and a lot of stuff to make Jahangir call Guru Sahib Ji to his house as fast as possible. So what happened next? Jahangir gives Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji to Chandu, and Chandu takes Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji to their house. And Peri Saat Sangat Ji, for 5 days, for 5 days, Guru Sahib Ji is being in the house. Sorry, the stream just lagged for a little bit there. Um, so for 5 days, Chandu is torturing Guru Sahib Ji. So Peri Saat Sangat Ji, what happens? So what happens? The first day, Guru Sahib Ji goes to Chandu's house. And what does Chandu do? Chandu puts Guru Sahib Ji in a cage. And he says, Guru Sahib Ji, you're not allowed to have anything to drink. You're not allowed to have anything to eat. And you're not allowed to sleep. And that whole day, Guru Sahib Ji was kept in the burning hot sun and they weren't given a single drop of water, they weren't given a single bit of food, and they weren't allowed to sleep. He put guards around Guru Sahib Ji, and he was like, even if Guru Sahib Ji starts falling asleep, I want you to poke him with your spear. Get a sword and poke him to wake them up. Don't let even Guru Sahib Ji get 1 second of sleep. And Peri Saat Sangat Ji, just like that, Guru Sahib Ji, the whole day, they were in the burning hot sun. Imagine Peri Saat Sangat Ji. We think it's hot in Canada, but in India it's burning hot. It's so hot that they said all the ponds were drying up. There was no water left in the ponds. The rivers were drying up, and the animals even dying of 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 overheating. Animals were dying of dehydration. They didn't have water. Whoever didn't have water was just dying. But Guru Sahib Ji was kept in this heat the whole day. The whole day they were just kept in the heat to torture them. Not given a single drop of water, not given a single bit of food. And you know what Chandu said? He said, Guru Sahib Ji, if you want to eat something, if you want to drink something, you have to become Musliman, or you have to change Guru Granth Sahib Ji, or you have to pay $100,000. If you want one drop, if you want one sip of water, you have to pay $100,000. So he's like, I'll do this, and Guru Sahib Ji, they won't be able to last too long, and in no time I'll get the $200,000 fine, and Jahangir will be happy. So what happened? That whole day and the whole night, Guru Sahib Ji is kept in the cage, and Guru Sahib Ji is just doing Simran. The whole time they're just doing Simran. They're doing Simran and Sokni Sahib and Japji Sahib, and the whole time they didn't drink a single drop of water, and they didn't eat a single bit of food. And Chandu goes to his comfy bed, he eats a nice meal, and he goes to his comfy bed and he goes to sleep at night. And he comes the next day and he's all happy. He thinks that Guru Sahib Ji was tortured all night, that in no time now they'll listen to the stuff that we're saying and they'll be begging for forgiveness, right? But was Guru Sahib? No. The next day they come to Guru Sahib Ji and they say the same thing. They say, right, that Muslims are the greatest. Change Guru Granth Sahib Ji, become Musliman, or pay the fine. And again, Guru Sahib Ji gives the same answer. They say that I'm not going to change my religion and I'm not going to waste the Sangat's money so that you guys can do whatever you want, so that you guys can buy the stuff that you like with the money. And they said that I'm not going to eat anything or drink anything. You can do whatever you want to me. And Peri Saat Sangat Ji, you know what Chandu does? Chandu starts getting angrier and angrier and angrier, and he gets a huge pot of water. He gets a huge pot of water, and it's burning. It's a boiling hot pot of water, and he puts it out in the middle of the day, and you could just imagine this, Peri Sangat. Imagine a boiling hot pot of water. And look, just picture our parents when they're cooking for us. Look at how carefully they have to place the roti on the tawa, right? Look at how carefully they place the roti on the pan. Because if even one finger touches the pan for 1 second, we get so much pain. For hours and hours they're complaining about how much pain there is, right? Or imagine when we're feeding the karshi, when we're stirring the dal around, right? We're so careful that not even a drop of the water touches our skin, because remember that a single drop of water touches our skin, for hours and hours that place is burning hot. And now imagine Tan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji. In the middle of the day, the sun is shining, it's a burning hot day. There's literally no water around, all the water is drying up, and these guys are putting a boiling hot pot of water. It's boiling hot, and they get Guru Sahib Ji to sit inside it. How much pain must Guru Sahib Ji be going through? Right? We could just imagine if one drop of water that comes from dal causes so much pain to us, how much pain would it be to sit in a boiling hot pot of water for hours and hours and hours in the middle of the day? But Guru Sahib Ji themselves, they say that we want you to sit in this pan. Guru Sahib Ji themselves walk into the pan and they sit in the pan. They sit in the pot of boiling hot water, and underneath the pan, wood is wood is being burnt and burnt and burnt, and for hours and hours, this pan is just kept burning. It's a fire is on the pan, it's just kept burning, and Guru Sahib Ji is just sitting there. But are they screaming? No. Are they yelling out, crying for help? No. The whole time, Guru Sahib Ji is shant. Peri Sangat Ji, just the same type of peace that Guru Sahib Ji had while they were sitting on their nice cushions, while they were sitting on their gaddi, while they were sitting in Harmandir Sahib, and people were doing Chor Sahib over them. Just like today, we keep Guru Granth Sahib Ji on the gaddi, we keep them on a pillow, and people do Chor Sahib over them. And Guru Sahib Ji is sitting there peacefully. Just like that, Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji used to sit peacefully in Harmandir Sahib, and or they used to sit peacefully in Tan Sahib, or any Gurdwara they used to go to. They used to sit peacefully on pillows, and people used to do chore over them, and they never used to say anything. And just like that, now they're sitting peacefully in this boiling hot pot of water. Let's look at ourselves. We get so happy when we have sukh in our life, right? When we have peace in our life. Let's say we get a new toy, or we get, I don't know, we get something that makes us happy. We sit there happily. But when we have to go through any sort of pain, if we get sick at all, we're not happy at all, right? We're not still sitting there all happy and all peaceful. We're usually like, why did this have to happen to me? God, why did you put me through this? But Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, they're sitting in this boiling hot pot of water, and still they're still saying, Tera kiya meetha lagya. They're still saying, God, whatever you do, that is good for me. That I accept that as the truth, and I bow down to that, and it's good. God, whatever you do is good. If you want to put me in this boiling hot pot of water, that is good as well. And in the boiling hot pot of water, Guru Sahib Ji is just doing Sukhni Sahib and Japji Sahib and just saying Simran. And Peri Saat Sangat Ji, isn't it ironic that Guru Sahib Ji is the one that's being burnt, but if you look at the side, Chandu is the one that's burning inside with irka, with jealousy. Chandu sees that Guru Sahib Ji, even though I'm putting them through so much torture, they're still happy. They're still doing part, and they're still not listening to me. And and he gets angry. He was like, why can't I make these guys? He starts getting like pulling his hair out. Like, why can't I make Guru Sahib Ji angry? Why can't I make him say? Why can't I make him yell in pain? And why can't I make him be sad? Right? Why is Guru Sahib Ji still angry? He's like this, like he's getting angrier and angrier on the side. Guru Sahib Ji is the one that's in the boiling hot pot of water. Guru Sahib Ji is in the one that's sitting in fire, but it's Chandu that's actually burning inside. So very Satsang this was the second day of torture. There's going to be 5 days of tortures. So in the first day, they were just kept in a cage in the middle of the sun, no food to drink and no water to drink, no food to eat, and not allowed any bit of sleep. And the whole day passes, and Chandu thinks that now Guru Sahib Ji will listen the second day. But again, Guru Sahib Ji says no, and the second day we just went through it. Guru Sahib Ji is put in this boiling hot pot of water for hours and hours. And then they take Guru Sahib Ji out of the boiling hot pot of water. And we could just imagine. Imagine we get burnt. Like we're making prasad and we get burnt. We touch the pot just a little bit and our skin goes black. In 2 seconds, if we touch the pot or if we touch a pan, our skin goes black. Imagine Guru Sahib Ji's skin. What must have happened to Guru Sahib Ji's skin after sitting in this boiling hot water for hours and hours? After a 20-minute shower, our skin starts wrinkling. Imagine hours and hours of boiling water. How their skin must have wrinkled and blistered. Guru Sahib Ji's whole body, what it says in our history books, is Guru Sahib Ji's whole body was just filled with blisters. Their whole skin was ripping apart, and there was blood coming out everywhere, and there was just boils and blisters coming all around Guru Sahib Ji's body. Their whole body was black. Their whole body was black. Imagine when you burn a piece of wood and the wood turns black. That's exactly what was happening to Guru Sahib Ji's body. Their whole body was black. But still, they were saying Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru. Guru Sahib Ji, God, whatever you do, I'm grateful for it. They still didn't say one bad word. And they were still completely at peace. They were still happy. They were still doing Simran. So that was the second day. And again, that whole night, they weren't even given one drop of water to drink. They weren't given one little bit of food. And they weren't allowed to sleep. The whole night. Again, Guru Sahib Ji was with their tongue, just reading Japji Sahib and Sukhmani Sahib and remembering God the whole night. And Chandu again goes to his comfy bed, eats a nice meal, goes to sleep, and he was like, for sure, tomorrow Guru Sahib Ji will listen to me. He comes the third day. This is the third day that Guru Sahib Ji is being tortured. What happens now? Chandu says, convert. into convert into and become a Muslim. Change Guru Granth Sahib Ji, give us $200,000. And again, Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji say, you can do whatever you want to me, but I'm not going to change even a single letter. Peri Saat Sangat Ji, I'm not going to change even a single letter of Gurbani. Why did they refuse to change even a single letter? It's for us. It's so that today we could read Japji Sahib just like Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji said Japji Sahib, just like Japji Sahib came from God. That's exactly the Japji Sahib we're reading today. Not even a single letter has been changed because Guru Sahib Ji chose to sit in burning hot plates and burning hot pots of water instead of even changing one letter. Dhan, Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, they did all this for us. At the very least, we should be memorizing Gurbani and reading this Bani as much as possible. Guru Sahib Ji knew that this Bani came from God and it, it takes us back to God. If we read this Bani, it'll take us back to God. But if it's changed, if I change even one letter of it, then it's not the same. It's not the Bani that came from God. Now it's the Bani that was made by Guru Arjan Dev Ji and made by Jahangir's threats, right? Now the Bani has been changed, they won't have the same power. But to keep Gurbani pure, to give us Gurbani that came from God, to teach us what God is trying to tell us, Guru Sahib Ji decided that no, you can do whatever torture you want from me, and I'm not gonna change even a single letter of Gurbani, and I'm not gonna give you even one penny of the Sangat's money. So Tan Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, what happens this third day? This third day, they get sand and they heat up the sand. And the sand is because remember Guru Sahib Ji's body has cuts all over the place. And what happens when you put sand on a cut or you put salt on a cut or anything like that? It burns even more. So he gets burning hot sand and he makes Guru Sahib Ji sit on it. He makes Guru Sahib Ji sit on the sand, and the sand is going into all of Guru Sahib Ji's blisters and is cutting his skin. And that's not it, Peri Saat Sangat Ji. They also get boiling hot sand, red hot sand, and they put it on Guru Sahib Ji's head. And for hours and hours and hours, Guru Sahib Ji is sitting on hot sand, red hot sand, and having red hot sand being put on their head. And yeah, just like this picture shows, the star was taken off when they put the sand on their head. And Tan Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji is still sitting there, just completely calm. Very Sat Sangat Ji. They're not saying anything, they're not screaming, they're not yelling out in pain. They're completely calm, and all they're doing is saying Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru. Tan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, Tan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. All they're saying is Japji Sahib and Sukhmani Sahib and Vaheguru. They're completely calm, Guru Peri Sat Sangat Ji. They're completely still. Peri Sat Sangat Ji, if we look at ourselves, people like me go to the Gurdwara, we're sitting on nice carpets, and after like 10-15 minutes, we start fidgeting around and we can't sit still. Imagine Guru Sahib Ji, they're sitting on this boiling hot, they're sitting on this hot sand, and they're having sand put on their head, but even then, they're completely still. They're sitting in a chokra and they're just remembering God. Dhan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. Dhan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. Dhan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. So this was the third day Peri Sangat Ji, where Guru Sahib Ji had sand, red hot sand, put on top of them, and they were made to sit on red hot sand. And again, over the night, not one drop of water, not one bit of food, and not one bit of sleep. That whole night, Peri Saat Sangat Ji, Guru Sahib Ji is just reading Gurbani. The same Bani Peri Saat Sangat Ji that people like me have trouble reading, right? Like we get tired and fidgety whenever we read Gurbani. We get tired and fidgety and we want to just kind of get it over with and go outside and play or whatever the case might be. That same Gurbani, Guru Sahib Ji is reading it all night long, even after being tortured. I don't even read Bani in Sok, right? I don't even read Gurbani sitting on my nice comfy beds with a nice like chadar over me, have nice food to eat. Guru Sahib Ji has no food to eat, no water to drink, and they're being tortured. They're being put in boiling hot pots of water, and they're having sand put on top of them, red hot sand. And still, even then, they're just reading Gurbani and they're saying, "Thank you, God, for everything that you've given me." The same, the same stuff that they used to say, the same Gurbani and the same Sharda they had for Akal Purkh Vaheguru, the same love they had for Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, even when they were sitting on pillows, that's the same love they have for Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji while they sit on these boiling hot plates of water. So Peri Saat Sangrita and Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji. The whole night passes and out loud Guru Sahib Ji is still saying Japji Sahib, Ik Oankar Satnam Kartapur. The whole night they're still saying Adi Gur E Namah, Jugad Gur E Namah, Simro Simr Simr Sukh Pavo. That by doing your Simran, I get all these, I get that by doing your Simran, I get all these happinesses. Simro, Simr, Simr, Sukh Pavo. That by doing your Simran, I'm getting all this happiness. Kal Kale Stan Mahi Mitavo. The whole night they're reading Sokni Sahib. The whole night they're reading Japji Sahib. And the whole night they're reading Gurbani and just doing Vaheguru Simran. And then what happens? Then the fourth day comes. Perisa Sangaji, I'm leaving a lot of details behind as well, and I apologize. It's because I know that these Sakhis get a little bit too long. I hope it all still makes sense, and I hope if the Sangat asks for it as well, we can look into more details about all this stuff. But then the fourth day comes. So the first day, Guru Sahib Ji is kept without food, without water. Every day, Guru Sahib Ji is kept without food, without water, and without any sleep. And then the second day, they were put into a boiling hot pot of water. Remember? They were put into a boiling hot pot of water. And then the third day came, and they were made to sit on hot sand and had hot sand put on their head. And then came the fourth day. The fourth day. And what happens today? Chandu again comes. And Guru Sahib Ji is the one again that's being put under all this heat and all this fire. But it's Chandu that's getting angrier and angrier. And it's Chandu that's burning inside. And he was like, "Now, do you accept my daughter's marriage? Now, are you going to become Musliman? Now, are you going to change Guru Granth Sahib Ji? Now, are you going to give us money?" And again, Guru Sahib Ji is completely shant, Pyari Sat Sangat Ji. They're completely at peace and they're just saying, "You can do whatever you want to my body. I'm just, you can do whatever you want to my body, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna change. I'm not gonna change my religion. I'm not gonna change anything." सुन के हा सतगुर मेरा छोड़ो प्रीति चाम से क्या हुआ तन तप रहा मन शांत है हरि नाम से. Very Satsangaji, Guru Sahib Ji says a line, a poet writes that Guru Sahib Ji says, "I'm completely at peace doing Simran. I'm completely happy doing Simran. It doesn't matter what you do to my body." So what happens on this third day? Very Satsangaji, they get so much wood. It says they get 1 ton of wood. They get so much wood and they get so much wood and they burn a pot. I couldn't find any good pictures of this. Sorry, I'm very sorry. But they get 1 ton of wood and they boil a hot pan and they boil it so that it's red. It turns red. Imagine the tawa that your mom makes roti on. The little pan that your mom makes roti on is probably usually black, right? Imagine that you heat it so much that it turns red. And look at how carefully your mom, or maybe you guys, place the roti on the pan so that not even a little finger touches it for a second. Because even 1 second touching a little black pan causes hours and hours, days of pain. Guru Sahib Ji, they put 1 ton of wood underneath this pan, and it's red. It turns red. That's how hot it is. It's just fire coming up from all four directions, and they say, Guru Sahib Ji, we want you to stand on this. And Guru Sahib Ji, listening to them, they go and they stand on this red hot pan. Very Sad Sangat Ji, Guru Sahib Ji has all the powers in their hand. If they wanted to, they could have, in a second, snapped their fingers and made all the wood go cool. But again, they wanted to show us how to sit down and how to accept Guru Sahib Ji's hukum, how to accept God's will, right? How to accept everything God does as right. So if God gives us a little bit of pain, if God is causing this COVID thing to go around and He's causing people to get sick, we shouldn't say anything bad about God still. We should still say, Guru Sahib Ji, anything you do, we're going to be happy with it. And whether you give us happiness or whether we have to go through hard times, we're still going to do Simran. That's what Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji is teaching us. So Guru Pari Sat Sangat Ji, Guru Sahib Ji stands on this red hot pan for hours and hours and hours. And again, they're just doing Simran and Japji Sahib, Sokni Sahib, and reading Gurbani. And Chandu and everyone else is burning on the side. They're burning with jealousy and they're burning with anger. Why can't we make Guru Sahib Ji listen to us? Why can't we make Guru Sahib Ji scream? Why can't we make Guru Sahib Ji make Guru Sahib Ji get hurt? It's because of all the Simran that Guru Sahib Ji does, very Sat Sangat Ji. This Simran, because of all the Simran that they do, they're completely shant. They're completely at peace. They're completely happy. No matter what happens, they're just always saying Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru. They're always remembering God, and they're always saying, thank you, God, for everything that you've given us. So, Peri Satsang Ji, that was the fourth day. And again, Guru Sahib Ji is not given anything to drink, eat, or anything to eat, drink, or any sleep. And then comes the fifth day. And Peri Satsang Ji, what happens the fifth day? Guru Sahib Ji say that now you've tortured me enough. I've been going through this torture for 4 days. Let me go to the river and let me do Ishnan. And Chandu gets happy hearing this. Chandu's like, this guy's, Tan Sahib Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji's whole body is full with ulcers and is full with blisters. And when you know what happens when water goes on a cut, you get even more pain, right? He was like, when Guru Sahib Ji goes into the river and the river is going to be flowing and flowing, Guru Sahib Ji is going to get even more pain. So he was like, this will be perfect. This will cause Guru Sahib Ji so much pain. So he was like, yeah, Guru Sahib Ji, you can go do Ishnan today. And Peri Sad Sangat Ji, there was a few Sikhs that came with Guru Sahib Ji to Lahore. There was 5 Sikhs. Tan Tan Pai Bidi Chand Ji, Tan Tan Pai Jetha Ji, Tan Tan Pai Langaha Ji, Tan Tan Pai Pada Ji, and Tan Tan Pai Pirana Ji. We should memorize these names. We should memorize all the details of Guru Sahib Ji Shaheedi as much as we can, because Guru Sahib Ji gave the Shaheedi for us. But Guru Sahib Ji starts walking to the river, and what happens? Guru Sahib Ji, remember, they were standing on a red hot plate yesterday for hours and hours. Now they try to put their foot on the ground, and they can't. They try to put the back of their foot on the ground, and they can't because their whole foot is burnt. They try to put their toes on the ground, and they can't. They try to put the right side of the foot, and they can't. They try to put the left side of their foot on the floor, and they can't. Wherever their foot touches the ground, they can't put any weight on it. So Guru Sahib Ji has to use these 5 Sikhs as support. The same Guru Sahib Ji that used to be carried on palkiyan, today they can't even walk. The same Guru Sahib Ji has to get 2 people to kind of carry them like this as they stumble towards the river, and they do Ishnan at the river. And then they do Ishnan after 5 days, they do Ishnan at the river, Ravi, and then they sit down. And what do? They do Japji Sahib Peri Sat Sangat Ji. Even then, even after going through all this torture, they're still remembering God. They're still saying thank you to God for everything that you've given us. And while they're doing part and they're listening to part, they leave their Sarir Parisa Sangat Ji. Guru Sahib Ji gives their Shaheedi. Today, that same spot where Guru Sahib Ji was sitting, where Guru Sahib Ji gave their Shaheedi, is marked today. It's Gurdwara Sri Dehra Sahib Ji. You can do darshan of it. It's in Lahore. And this is the spot where Guru Sahib Ji gave their Shaheedi. So Guru Parisa Sangat Ji, Dhan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, they gave their Shaheedi for us, for Sikhi. Very Sangat Ji, if Guru Sahib Ji didn't give their Shaheedi, if they had listened to what the Muslims were saying, the Sikhi wouldn't be here today. Very Sangat Ji, the reason we get to sleep on these nice comfy beds is because Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji spent 5 days without sleeping in a cage. The reason we get to give shubiyas, the reason we get to give cool drinks is because Guru Sahib Ji themselves were kept thirsty for 5 days. The reason we get to have ACs in our house today is because Guru Sahib Ji sat on a burning hot plate so that we could have ACs today. Very Sad Sangat Ji, the reason today we can just go across the street and read Guru Granth Sahib Ji and see what God, the message that God is giving to us, is because Guru Sahib Ji gave their own life, gave their Shaheedi so that we could have Guru Granth Sahib Ji, an unchanged version of Guru Granth Sahib Ji that was straight from God. No person wrote their own poem and just wrote Nanak's name at the ending and put it in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, right? It's only the Bani that was sent, Jasi mein aave Khasam ki Bani, only the Bani that came straight from God, Tur ki Bani ai. Vah Vah Bani Nirankar hai. Only that Bani that came straight from God is contained in Japji Sahib, is contained in Guru Granth Sahib, Dasam Guru Granth Sahib. So Peri Sat Sangat Ji, Guru Sahib Ji gave the Shaheedi so that we could have access to this Bani today, right? And it's really, really important that just like Guru Sahib Ji's example, just like Guru Sahib Ji used to do Simran while they were in happiness, and they did Simran while in sadness, while in pain. Those Guru Sahib Ji doesn't go. They did Simran in happiness, and did the same Simran when times of pain came. Just like that, we need to be doing as much Simran as we can, whenever we can, whether we have happiness or sadness in our life. Just like Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji set the example, right? And just like that, just like Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, no matter what anyone else did, they were happy. Just like that, we can become just like them. Very Sangat Ji, it sounds silly that anyone can be like Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji. Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji was Pratakahar, Pani Mathura Chachuped Nahi. Guru Arjun Pratakahar. What does that mean? That Gurbani is saying that Guru Sahib Ji is God on earth. But Very Sangat Ji, there's so many stories where Guru Sahib Ji Sikhs that do so much Simran and read this Gurbani, they become just like them. There's actually one small Sakhi that just came to Das's mind right now. I'm just going to quickly say it, and then I'll ask for your forgiveness. This is a story of Har Kowal, Sant Baba uh, Jagdish Singh Ji Harkowal Wale. This is a story that comes from the life of Jagdish Singh Ji Harkowal Wale. And what happens? Peri Sat Sangat Ji, sorry. Bhai Jwala Singh Ji Harkowal Wale. Yeah, Bhai Jwala Singh Ji Harkowal Wale. What happens? They start thinking one day that how much pain must have Guru Sahib Ji went through when they were sitting in these uh, when they were sitting through all this torture, how much pain must have Guru Sahib Ji went through, right? So all of a sudden, they decide to go to the langar and they get coal. So back then, they used to boil, they used to, I'm sure you guys know what coal is. They used to burn fire with coal, and they got a burning piece of coal and they put it on their leg, and they just kept on reading Gurbani and they kept on reading Gurbani. And after a while, the Sikhs smelled something burning and they're like, "What's burning? What's burning?" And they came and they checked and they saw that it was Baba Jwala Singh Ji, and he was putting coal on their legs. And Baba Jwala Singh Ji, again, they weren't screaming, they weren't yelling out in pain, they were just sitting there doing Simran. Why? Because they dedicated their whole life, just like Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, they dedicated their whole life doing Seva and Simran. And yeah, doing Seva and Simran. And they did so much Seva and Simran that nothing could burn them as well. Just like that, Bhai Dayalaji sat in a boiling hot pot of water, just like Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji did. We went through that story many times before, which is why I decided to say this other story now. But Bhai Dayalaji, remember, they sat in a boiling hot pot of water when before Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji gave their Shaheedi, and they were doing Sokni Sahib as well. And yeah, Perisa Sangat Ji, that's made lots and lots of mistakes while going through the Shahidi, and I skipped so much stuff. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. No, we can. I was trying to condense it all into 1 hour. We can spend one full day. We can spend one full month. We can spend one full year going through all this history, and it still won't be enough to say thank you to everything that Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji has done for us. And Perisa Sangat Ji, everything that we have today is because Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji gave the Shahidi for us. Vaheguru. So Peri Sat Sangat Ji, the least we can do is memorize Guru Sahib Ji Shahidi, to go over the Shahidi whenever the Shahidi Pur passes, just to remember the Shahidi and to say thank you and to read as much Gurbani, to read as much Sukhmani Sahib and Japji Sahib and Gurbani as we can, to do as much Vaheguru Simran as we can, because that is the only thing that will go with us at the ending. That's the reason why Guru Sahib Ji gave their Shahidi. So, very Sad Sangat Ji, please forgive me for all the mistakes that I've made. Let's just do Mool Matra. Let's just do Mool Matra at the ending before we say Fateh. एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरखो निर्भौ निर्वैर अकाल मूरति अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसादि जापो आदि साचो जुगादि साचो है पी साचो नानक होसी पी साचो एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरखो निर्भौ निर्वैर अकाल मूरति अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसादि जपो आदि साचो जुगादि साचो है पी साचो नानक होसी पी साचो एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरखो निर्भौ निर्वैर अकाल मूरति अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसादि जपो आदि साचो जुगादि साचो है पी साचो नानक होसी पी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरखो निर्भौ निर्वैर अकाल मूरति अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसादि जपो आदि साचो जुगादि साचो है पी साचो नानक होसी पी साचो. So Guru Peri Sat Sangat Ji, I made a lot of mistakes while going through this prasang. Please forgive me. Please bless me that we can keep doing this seva and keep getting your charan turi and keep doing your darshan. And Peri Sat Sangat Ji, I know I took a little bit over the amount of time that we usually that the Sangha usually wants me to take, but I try to condense it as much as I could. Um, but just imagine, like, we have trouble sitting down for like an hour listening to this Sakhi, but imagine how much trouble. Imagine the stuff that Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji went through. They were sitting for hours and hours on burning hot plates, and not once did they complain. So I apologize for taking too much time, but I think to remember Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Shaheedi, I think it was okay that we took a little bit of extra time. But I do apologize, and I will try to keep it within the time limit that we have allotted for this. Please forgive me for all my mistakes. Whoever wants to read this prasang, whoever wants to learn about this in more detail, Bhag Jaswant Singh Ji Sokni Sahib Pothi goes through this Sakhi, goes through the whole prasang with a lot of details, and there's been a lot of katha done on it as well. And there's been posts, I believe last year there was posts that for 5 days it detailed everything that happened. And the Sangat is more than welcome to read those. Or if they have any questions, they can message the Sevadars or listen to other Kathars or whatever, whichever way possible. But we should be trying to learn as much about this history as possible. Imagine if our dad died, what do we want to? This is something I'm taking from another Katha Vachik. But he gave the example that imagine our own father died. Wouldn't we want to know every single detail, every little thing that happened? Exactly what happened the first day, what happened on the way there, what did they say, exactly what was said, and how did everyone respond? All these details, like who came to visit, all this stuff, like is super important. Just like we, if our father passed away, we'd want to know everything that happened. Just like that, we should have the same love to learn about everything that happened during Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Shahidi. So Dasana Das gave a quick overview, a quick glimpse into how Guru Sahib Ji was tortured for 5 days, so that we don't just celebrate the shabir, we don't just celebrate the cold drinks that we give, but we actually remember the reasoning why why we're celebrating this, like why we're remembering what we're remembering on this day. But it's important that we delve deeper into this and we learn everything that Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji did for us throughout their life and everything that they did for us throughout their Shahidi. So please forgive me for all my mistakes.